Okay, this is a super cheap Bull brand lighter. It's a zippo style lighter and it cost me £1. And as you would expect, it is terrible. This bit only fits if you get it in a certain way. It's really not that smooth, and it doesn't look that great. I mean, there's burrs around these bits, and it doesn't really fit together all that well. And so today, I'm going to see if I can't try and turn it into something a bit cooler. I'm going to try and customize the way it looks. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do to this is just take some sandpaper. This is 80 grit, and just sand it down nicely and try and get rid of all these burrs. And this is going to be because I'm going to paint it later, and this is going to help the paint stick to it. So as you can see, it's not going to look too pretty to start off with. But you just want to go around the whole lighter and make sure that it's all sufficiently scratched up. It's actually created quite a nice effect on the front, accidentally. Looks like. As you can see, I've opened it up and I'm just going to tidy this area of the lighter up. Just try and make it close better. But then for the rest of this, we're going to want to take the insert out. Okay, so for this next bit, just got some newspaper and some spray paint. And then the lighter, I'm going to try and arrange it so that I can do the whole thing all at once. So hopefully it'll stay like that so that I can spray paint it. Otherwise I'm going to have to hang it from a piece of string so that I can do it all in one go. And it didn't stay like that. Okay, so this is after 2 coats, and as you can see, it looks great on this side, but I've majorly messed up this side, so I'm going to give it a couple of coats. If you do this, then probably best to hang it from a string, or do something similar so that you don't have to mess around with it falling over in the wind, which is what happened to this. Yeah. Okay, so this is lighter so far. Just going to stop it from spinning. It's come out okay, but it wasn't really working very well painting it while it was on the floor, and as you can see, the paint here is really uneven. So this is a much better way to paint it, and I should have done this in the first place, so I'm going to give it one more coat, and then hopefully it'll be okay. I also realised that I should have done much lighter coats on it, and done more of them. But yeah, hopefully after this coat, it should be okay to go on to the next stage. Okay, so the lighter's texture is looking a lot better now. It's still not fully dry, but it's dry enough for me to do a couple of extra little details. So I'm going to use some neon green spray paint and just hopefully make it look quite cool. First I want to stop it from spinning though. Right, as you can see, I've got kind of quite a nice speckled effect on there, and so I'm going to leave that effect on, and hopefully this should turn out quite nicely. Okay, so this is what the light looks like now that it's dry. I really like the effect it's got on it. No insert in there at the moment. And so now what I'm going to do is a technique I tried out earlier, but as you can see I printed this graphic out, just an image I found on the internet which I thought looked really cool. And I printed that out, and now all I'm going to do is cut that out, stick it onto the front with some Pritt stick, and then do a clear coat over the top which is going to hold it in place. And I'm going to do several clear coats to make sure it really doesn't come off. And I already tried this on this piece of cardboard and it's worked quite well. As you can see, this is just after one coat, and I deliberately left a corner there so that I could try and peel it off, and it's on there very nicely and none of these sides are coming up, so hopefully that will work on the lighter. Okay, so it's cut out nicely now, and now I'm just working on where exactly I want it positioned, and I think that is going to look great. So now that that's on, I'm gonna use some just regular paper glue, which is only going to be temporary, and that I only need that to hold this piece of paper on long enough for me to clear coat over the top of it, which is what I'm hoping is going to stick it onto the lighter fairly permanently. But I think that looks really cool. Okay, once again, I got it hung up in the tree, and now I'm just going to attack it with some clear spray paint. Now the trick to this is to use really light coats and do a lot of them on the paper because you don't want the ink to run. Now I'm using just clear spray paint or clear lacquer, but I mean you could use any kind of varnish or even clear nail polish. I think I've seen someone use that on the internet, so there's a lot of different ways to do it, but again, you just want to make sure that you don't let the ink run or damage the paper, because otherwise it's just going to look like a mess. Okay, I think that's enough for one coat, so I'm going to give that time to dry now. Might have given it too much actually, but oh well, we'll see. Okay, so now that I've clear coated that onto the lighter, I'm going to distress it with some of this copper paint, and I'm just going to do that around the edges where it would usually wear, like around here and around some of these edges. I might put some scratches on it as well and fill those in with the paint, but hopefully. And then after that I'll give it a couple more coats of clear coat, and I'm also deciding if I should put another one of these on the back, but I actually like it how it is at the moment, so I think after that I'll be finished with this. Okay, so as you can see, I've already dry brushed most of this, but the key really is using as little paint as possible and just applying the paint really gently to where it would just naturally be in some of the scratches and dents. I mean, this section here was actually the bull's tail, and so it's a really nice dent, but it looks like one scratch. And on the back here there's a couple of little areas here where the paint just didn't quite dry evenly. And I think those will look really nice if I just gently, there we go, turn them into some scratches. Now this thing works really well, but seriously sharp in the middle. I just cut my thumb. Okay, so it's the end of the day, and I've finished the lighter finally. Took 2 days altogether to complete it, but there it is. So it's been really fun to make, actually. As you can see, works quite nicely, works well as a lighter. These super cheap Ball brand zippos, they're definitely, or zippo style lighters, they're definitely good if you want something super cheap, because they do work. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time.